Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning in studio and we speak with Anita Taylor, and she is the District Director and Chief of Staff to Congresswoman Yvette D. Clarke, and she is here in Tobago to have a true Tobago experience. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning,
Adanna.
Anna Kim. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an amazing experience that I want to thank my the person that invited me, who is Angela Cooper. I wanted to make sure that during this vacation time, I connect with the folks, the Tobagan folks, because Congresswoman Clarke represents one of the largest community from Tobago. In our district, we represent 750,000 folks, and in that it's mostly Caribbean. And so we wanted to make sure that we connect so that we can I could take back my findings to my member to see how we can enhance all the services that we provide to our community, and to make sure that we understand each culture of every diaspora.
And you've been in Tobago for a couple of days, I assume.
Yes.
And I know where you are based in the U.S. You have, as you mentioned before, interactions with Caribbean communities and Tobago community as well. Have you been able to identify similarities in your interactions in the U.S. As to when you came to Tobago and you saw the grassroots Tobagonians here on the island?
Absolutely. First of all, I commend the folks in the community. You all are very warm people, and so I don't feel like a stranger. You all made me feel welcome, and I am originally from Costa Rica, and it's funny, even though we speak Spanish, we have so many similarities in our culture, because we have Calypso night as well when we have our events, and so this was a reminder that we are united and that we are close to one another and that our culture are similar.
I'm reading your bio here.
Yeah.
And I know that you take it very seriously in terms of working on projects to enhance the life and the livelihoods of persons, especially in the Caribbean diaspora where you are. What are some of the projects that are near and dear to your heart that you really think is really good in terms of integrating culture and ensuring people have a wonderful experience?
So one of the things then that, we have different events. There is a Tobago Day that every year gets put on there. And so what we do is that we sort of attend and give certificates or proclamation to folks that made a difference in their community. We want to make sure that they understand that we are there for them. One of the major issues with the Caribbean per se is immigration. As we all know, especially what is happening currently, immigration is a top priority for us, to make sure that the immigrants have their papers in order, to make sure that if they apply, we are there in the process to make sure that they are not one of those that get deported. So what we do is that they would reach out to us and say, I apply for my mother, I apply for my father, I apply for someone, and I want to know the status. And so we now reach out to USCIS to find out where are they in the process. So right now we have a whole lot of folks coming into our office because of what is happening. We have cases where people go to 26 Federal Plaza. They might have came here and documented and got a BAWA or got citizenship in the means of maybe getting married or something like that, and have to go to court to certify or to make sure that their process is continuing, and they get arrested by ICE and get deported. So we are trying to be that middle person to make sure that does not happen to our Caribbean community, especially the Tobagans.
Right.
So, Ms. Taylor, are you speaking about working along with the immigrants to regularize them and make sure that their documents are in order? Do you do it on an individual basis, or are there NGOs that are Caribbean specific that you all work with to get better integration into the community?
So in the United States, there's 3 branch of government. You have federal, you have state, and you have city. We are in charge of any federal issue. That for immigration falls under that. And so we reach out directly to USCIS, but we also work with some of the NGOs. For example, if someone don't have the means of paying for the application, then we will forward and send them to these organizations where they might be able to waive their fees, or maybe they need an attorney and they don't have the means of paying for an attorney. So we would send them to these particular NGOs to help them out.
So you have worked extensively with our Caribbean people, of course, being a Costa Rican and, understanding the culture and having that type of engagement. So let's talk some fun now.
That's
We're in
right.
Tobago and we're here on vacation. And of course, you mentioned your vacation is kind of like a working vacation because you're scouting the ground to see how best you can, implement some strategies to
That's
help people in the diaspora right now. So what are some of the things you've enjoyed so far since you've been on the island of Tobago?
Oh my God, the food.
The
Food. I mean, it's funny because the curry, everything curry. I for the first time I had pigtail curry. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And then I had the pilori. Then I had the roti. And so by the time I get home, I'm probably going to be 10 pounds.
We came in the time when we had festivities because we just
That's
celebrated Diwali, so that's why you had all that curry.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes,
And
yes,
it was delicious. I look forward to continue this journey. I'm leaving next week, but so far this has been an amazing experience. So my country in Costa Rica, where in my village, we also having carnival during this time. And so for me, it was, let me come to the real carnival.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. The steel band, the steel pans. I mean, to just look at a pan like that and see music coming out of it is such a great experience. And to see all the local calypsonians that I was like, my goodness, I mean, everyone have a voice. I had to ask somebody, do y'all go to school to sing like this? Is there because everyone sound incredible. And so we are hoping that some of these local artists will come to the Caribbean, the Tobago Day next year to show their talent, because it's a lot. It's beautiful, and it's sort of a labor of love when you see them up there. That like they just get into their zone, and it's such amazing to see. And I think that that's something that they should really embody and show the world.
And for the days coming up, what are you looking forward to attending? What event?
Oh my God. For starters, tomorrow night.
Yes.
Oh my God, I am going to see Marshall for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And then Nadia, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. So and for me, it was important for me to see him in his space, right? I could have seen him in New York. But for me, it was important to see him in his space because this is where he grew up. This is where he's from. And so I'm so excited to be able to experience this.
Right. And in terms of, we mentioned offset before we started the interview, you were talking about the warmth of the people. So tell us about in terms of the reception you receive from the Tobago people, because that is something our visitors always talk about.
So to be quite honest, I knew that my member, Congresswoman Yvette Clark, we help Caribbean people. But I was surprised that when I mentioned where I work and who I work for, how so many people knew who we were.
Wow.
And to see that people was even mentioning the certificates and the proclamation that we give out. I was taken back for a minute, and when I said, "Oh, I'm Anita Taylor from Congresswoman Clark's office," they was like, "Oh, you Anita? Oh, you gave me a proclamation this time, and the Congresswoman, I came to her office, and she was able to help me navigate my immigration, or she was able to help me get food on my table, or whatever the case might be." And so that kind of set me back a little bit, but in a good way,
Right.
because now I realize that we are really touching our community like we should, and that we are really helping our community like we should. For me, this is a labor of love, right? I am also an immigrant, and so you have to be able to experience that to know what they're going through, because going through the immigration process is not easy. So you have to be able to feel that you are heard, and that someone is there in your corner helping you through the process. And that made me feel so good, knowing that people were able to come back here because they were able to get their papers through, and now they are U.S. citizens, and be able to come back to their country to experience this lovely carnival.
Wow. In rounding up now, what are some of the things you think you will take back home, based on your observations and your experiences here? What are some of the things you think, I'm definitely taking this back home?
So for me is the warmness, is the culture, is the Calypsonians, how they were on stage, and there were this one particular Calypsonian that say, "Just give me something you want me to sing about." Like the spirit of the moment. And so they gave him a word or something, and he right then and there was able to come up with a song, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is talent." And so for me, that's why I say I think that coming to Tobago Day and some of these artists to be able to participate, it will be amazing for us in the United States to see all this talent.
I feel excited for you being here, and I really want you to continue to experience the beauty of our culture, our people, our food, who we are as the authenticity of who we are as a people. Because I'm telling you, we really are cool people, aren't we? We're cool people, and so I really hope that you continue to enjoy the experience, and when you get back to home, where you call home now, that you are able to brag about your experience here on the island of Tobago.
Definitely will. This has been an amazing experience. This is one of my most memorable experience so far, and I know there's more to come, because I understand that tomorrow is when it really starts. So I'm going to rub myself up with the Bengay and with everything, because I heard it's from morning to night. But I look forward to that, and I want to thank you all for this welcoming, and thank you all for holding it down for the people down here as well. It's not often that you are able to communicate, there are people that is in the United States that have not come back here for many years because they don't have their papers, and so to be able to have their family here taken care of is less pressure for them, and hopefully one day they can take the plane to come over.
That's right. Thank you so much for all that you do for us as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Anita Taylor, District Director and Chief of Staff to Congresswoman Yvette D. Clarke. She's in Tobago, and she's ready to have a wonderful time. In fact, because of you, Tobago, she's already started having an amazing time. So I must say thank you for always being so warm to our guests and for showing them a wonderful, wonderful time. Look out for her. She might be somewhere around at some event you might be attending throughout the carnival season. Well, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations here in studio. And as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.